talking about the Russians putting guns in people's hands. Um, so I just found this Evil Crew. I've been watching it for a while. I've been watching it since the family was there with the dad. Um, I'll tell you some things after this is over. But other than that, they have like exclusive footage of the Nutty Putty cave. You know, the cave where the guy got stuck in and is still in because they buried him in it. We're gonna watch that. So this is my first ever reaction, I believe. Let's hop into this.
As wide as I am, double tall. So Rob, come around the corner there, has to go feet first, because you have to go down this head first.
Okay, so the victim is probably about the top of his feet are about maybe 1.5 to 2 feet below my feet right now.
In November of 2009, a group of explorers entered one of Utah's most popular underground cave systems for what was meant to be a bonding experience. But deep inside the cave's narrow, twisting passages, one tragic mistake triggered a desperate fight for survival, leading to one of the most extensive rescue operations ever attempted.
Memories to be safe.
The following is based on official police records, as well as public statements and interviews from family members and individuals involved in the rescue effort. The footage has never been seen before until now. In 2009, 26-year-old medical student John Edward Jones traveled from Virginia to his home state of Utah for the Thanksgiving holiday, accompanied by his wife Emily and their 1-year-old daughter. On November 24th, John, his brother Josh, and 9 other friends and family members set out to explore a popular cave system, never imagining that one of them would never make it out. In 1960, an explorer named Dale Green discovered the hydrothermal cave located west of Utah Lake. Due to the soft, putty-like texture of the clay lining its narrow passages, he named it the Nutty Putty Cave, a nod to the children's toy Silly Putty. Afterward, it became one of Utah's most popular underground systems, seeing as many as 6,000 groups of explorers each year, including young Boy Scouts. But as time passed, the cave's dangers became impossible to ignore, and rescue calls grew more frequent. In 2004, 16-year-old Brock Clark was trapped upside down for nearly 14 hours, but ultimately survived the harrowing ordeal. 2 years later, the cave...
This is one thing I never understood. If the area that he was unexplored, you know, why didn't why didn't no one ever go in there and like try to like block some of these weird areas or even put a sign? Like, he was supposed to go, I think, left, but he went right, or maybe I got it backwards.
Entrance was gated off, and new restrictions required permits for entry. To obtain a permit, at least one person in each group was required to have prior caving experience, a measure intended to prevent tragedy. But on November 24, 2009, as 26-year-old John Jones, his brother, and their friends made their way into the cave system, tragedy was about to unfold. According to police records, it was around 9:30 p.m. when Josh Jones contacted local authorities for help, telling them his brother John had gotten stuck inside the cave. Though Josh and John were both experienced cavers and had been inside Nutty Putty Cave before, a critical mistake trapped in one of the most horrifying situations imaginable. While attempting to navigate a well-mapped section of the cave known as the Birth Canal, named for its extremely narrow passageway, John took a wrong turn and entered an unmapped section of tunnel near an area called Ed's Push. John likely believed that if he kept moving forward, he would eventually have enough room to turn around. When he reached a small opening, John crawled headfirst into the sloped passage, not realizing it was a dead end. Horrifically, John slipped into the tunnel and became trapped. According to police records, the constriction point John passed through was estimated to measure just 10 by 18 inches. John was pinned headfirst in an angle of more than 70 degrees, tilted onto his left side with his left arm trapped beneath him. It was the same area where a teenage boy had been rescued years earlier, But at roughly 6 feet tall and over 200 pounds, John would be far more difficult to free. By the time emergency crews arrived, he'd already been trapped for nearly an hour, and time was not on their side. The first rescue team to descend into the cave reached John at 12:38 a.m. on November 25th, nearly 4 hours after he first became stuck. John appeared to be in good condition, and to their knowledge had sustained no physical trauma. However, the only part of John that rescuers could see or access were his feet and part of his calves. The ceiling was so low that any attempt to raise John meant his feet would hit the ceiling after lifting him only a few inches. Rescue teams worked tirelessly through the night, staying by John's side and talking to him to keep him calm. But as the hours dragged on...
So I understand why, I believe at one point they wanted to break his legs. How did he get in there if his legs hit the roof?
Little progress was made in freeing him, and time was quickly running out. The prolonged inverted position John was trapped in was placing extreme strain on his body. As confidence in his rescue began to wane, exhausted search and rescue teams requested more personnel and resources. After nearly 12 to 13 hours of failed rescue attempts, cave explorer Brandon Kowalis received a call alerting him that a rescue operation was underway. Brandon, a cartographer who mapped much of the Nutty Putty cave system, was part of a volunteer group called Utah Cave Rescue. By the time Brandon and the rest of the volunteer team arrived, rescuers were attempting to pull John free using a 4-to-1 pulley system. These efforts were captured in a series of videos recorded by the rescue team.
Okay, one of these. There's this slot here. Okay, pretty much as wide as I am, double tall. So the Rob come around the corner there, has to go feet first because you have to go down this head first. This comes around a corner to your right and down. And then after that, it slopes off and to the left, which is where John is. So we've got one line going to Rob, another line to John. This comes up this way, up to a town.
There.
But the cave's layout
just by looking at that pulley system, you can tell that these guys are top tier.
Created a major problem. Several twists and turns separated John from the nearest chamber that was large enough for rescuers to stand, and every bend created a friction point. Even with pulleys in place, the rope tightened against rocks and corners so severely that the whole system became ineffective. But the worst setback was still to come.
Tension on who?
Well, tell me how much.
Tension on who?
I think I'll probably be able to give him enough.
So it goes from that anchor where Susie is.
How much more, Rob?
Down and then up again.
Okay.
Which I'll attempt to shimmy myself down. Turn it around one more time. Looking up. Yeah. Hold on a sec. Okay. So out of that. The rope continues up that way. Oh, then turn around. So, hold on, take a video. So, turn a redirect there. There's a redirect right there. Up there. Russell? Yeah. Goes up to Russell.
Okay. Hold tension.
Hold tension.
Brandon's colleague, Ryan Schertz, managed to reach John
So is that his feet?
and brought him a pouch filled with Gatorade, lowering a tube down so he could drink. Ryan would later recall John shifting between calm and coherent conversation to helpless, panicked thrashing. To keep him focused on survival, Ryan asked him about his family. He later remembered John speaking about his wife, Emily, and sharing a secret. She was pregnant with their second child.
Wow.
There's this anchor here that's bolted in. This comes down here. Got one line attaching to Rob there. This is the line to John. Goes around the corner and then down to your left.
By 3 p.m.
So right there, they're standing vertically. Am I going crazy with the perspective? Is he like standing vertically? The fact that they, wow, that's just crazy, man.
John had been trapped for 18 hours, and the angle was unforgiving. Gravity was likely forcing blood into his head and placing immense strain on his heart and lungs.
I cannot imagine being upside down for more than 2 minutes.
Rescuers who were keeping John company described him as fading in and out of consciousness, reporting that he had begun to talk about seeing angels and demons around him.
Oh, man.
His family described John, a devout member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, as a man of unwavering faith. According to police records, the family, including John's wife, remained outside as the rescue efforts went on. Arrangements were made to allow communication between John and his wife Emily, as it seemed that when John heard her voice, he would try to help himself get out of the cave. Efforts to free him depended largely on his ability to help maneuver his own body out of the fissure. If he lost consciousness and could no longer assist, any real hope of getting him out would be lost.
Okay. Cave didn't say anything yet. You want to take your light and explain the system, how it keeps going? Yeah? Tension on Rob. More tension on Rob. Okay. So we have
we need both.
an anchor here.
You know what this
we're
is?
using for a redirect.
You don't want. You need a Prussic, is that right?
I do, and the 4-to-1 system right above me, right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Got a 3-to-1 system for hauling.
We got beaters with that system.
And we're going to rig another system for hauling Rob out.
You can actually, stay high.
We've got Brian up there.
You want it attached through this?
Taking care of things on Rob's line.
Either there or here. Oh, that one right there, I guess, is what we're going to set
We
up.
have enough pulleys to
If you go with a 5-to-1 too, but...
from rubbing
The other Prussic?
on the rock.
At 4 p.m., after almost 19 hours trapped in the crevice, rescue teams reported that John had been moved a couple of feet with the aid of the 4-to-1 rope system.
Yeah, but it's
Finally, Ryan was able to see through a crack and give John eye contact with another human for the first time in nearly a full day. But without warning, the equipment catastrophically failed.
Yeah.
2 cords tied around a rock formation suddenly snapped, sending a steel carabiner flying loose and striking rescuer Ryan Schertz in the face, temporarily knocking him unconscious. At the same moment, John slipped back into the crevice, undoing hours of effort. Due to Ryan's injury, he was forced to leave the cave, though rescue attempts continued on. Eventually, Brandon Kowalis headed down to make contact with John.
Recording again. Brandon going down through another one of the holes.
This is one of the wider spots. If you want to turn to still shots, you can take still shots too.
I figure we'll take some still shots of the patient.
You can take stills on the way out.
I'll take some still shots of him. Yeah, it's so dark. Okay, if you notice, crack goes down. He has to make his way up through a narrow. If I can do my light, it helps.
Come in, shut off.
Whoops.
I just gotta get it aimed so it doesn't aim at the camera, it aims above it.
This is going up about 45 degrees.
45 degrees up. We're still quite a ways from the patient. Try to get the light. You see the air hose is going through. I'm gonna stop the camera for a sec so I can get up. Okay, Brandon leading the way, going in. We're starting to get
shoulder
tighter. We still have about 25, 30 feet to go from here. We already have a low battery showing.
Oh, you got low battery?
Yeah, you want to switch it out right now?
Yeah, might as well just come up and switch it out. You can have them shut off the air compressor.
All right.
Double A's.
We got 26 minutes and 40 seconds of film.
Though John had entered the crevice head first, leaving his feet and calves exposed, Brandon went down feet first, his legs eventually making contact with John's.
Okay, so the victim is probably about the top of his feet are about maybe 1.5 to 2 feet below my feet right now, and
so you're standing straight up right now, right?
I'm laying, standing. It's pretty steep here. It's like maybe 60 or 70 degrees. But yeah, to get through, we would have to probably take this whole chunk off right here, which is...
I'll back up and show them where.
Which is really thick.
See, my legs barely fit through this.
Yeah, because I know for a fact they tried to dig them out, but they were kind of unable to because it would took so long. And you can look at that walk. Like, look at how...
We would have to probably take this whole chunk off right here, which is...
I'll back up and show them where.
Which is really thick.
See, my legs barely fit through this where he came through, and this is where they've drilled out more.
And the space that you have to drill
See my foot right here? My foot's bigger than the hole.
Yeah. So to hit it at an angle, and you could maybe come down in here and drill, but it's going to wear somebody out pretty quick. And this is just part. You still have all the way about, let's see, I'm about 5'8", so probably about 6 or 7 feet beyond this where you have to widen it for him to be able to fit through, and it's drilling through the smooth stuff, so to get a good angle on it, and it's really hard rock. Yeah.
You've been drilling, right, Brandon?
Yeah.
So you know how hard it's been because you've actually been on the drill.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a piece of cake, and sometimes the rock is super hard, and you can't get through it.
Trying to turn around here so you can see back up. Oh, it's too dark. You can see where we gotta go back up through that crack. There's Brandon again in the hole. See? He has to go feet first.
Not too wide.
Not too wide, but we're still in a pretty good position. As we go down, it gets narrower and tighter. I'll stop until we make progress.
Once the drill arrived, Brandon, along with 2 other rescue team members, spent about an hour and a half chipping away in an effort to widen the passage. But due to the angle, the effort was slow going.
Okay, I am flat on my back, closest wall. I tilt the camera down. You can see.
This is where we widened out. We took out from here to right about here, so about maybe 5 inches here, and then a section here. And this was soft, and this was pretty hard to knock off, but this was soft and fairly easy to drill through. And this is the easiest place to drill. From here, it just gets about 10 times harder.
So that's the easiest place to drill. They're knocked off quite a bit right
5
there.
5 inches in about an hour and a half.
5 inches in about an hour and a half.
Where it's easy to get to.
And that's the easiest place to get to. It just gets worse from there. And we're still a little ways from the feet of the patient.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go. Brandon's going to position himself because you have to go down only one way. From here, I'll pass the camera to him if he wants. He'll be able to use it down there.
It kinks my side.
Remember, just to be safe.
Brandon was able to stabilize himself by jamming his body into a narrower section of the crack, allowing him to speak with John. But once he introduced himself, he received no response. According to his account of events, Brandon was able to tap John on the leg and could hear him breathing a deep, gurgling breath, as though his lungs were filling with fluid. Then John began making frantic small kicks with his feet, but after a second, he stopped. According to Brandon, this was likely the moment that 26-year-old John Jones passed away.
Damn.
After 27 hours trapped upside down, the strain on his body was simply too much. A paramedic would later crawl through the treacherous tunnels and claustrophobic passageways to confirm his death. 4 minutes to midnight at 11:56 p.m. on November 25, 2009, John was pronounced deceased. Following this tragic confirmation, authorities determined it was best to leave John's body in the cave, rather than risk more lives in an attempt to recover him. While the decision was not well received, John's family ultimately decided they were at peace with leaving John's body inside, as long as the cave would be permanently closed. On December 1, 2009, explosives were placed in the cave and detonated, causing a collapse of the main passageway leading to the body of John Jones. The following day, the same personnel returned and cemented the opening of Nutty Putty Cave, sealing it from the public. According to his family, John was in his second year of medical school at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville. He planned and was working toward becoming a pediatric cardiologist. Following the cave's closure, the family mounted a memorial plaque which reads, "Our beloved John passed away at this site. He was a loving father, a kind husband, a loyal son, and a true and cherished friend. We miss you and love you always." A second plaque placed by the family thanks and honors the rescuers who worked tirelessly to free John. The final line reads, "We invite all who visit John's final resting place to enjoy and respect this sacred space." Emily later gave birth to a son, who she named John in her husband's memory.
Wow. So that was oh no. What's happening with this? Let's go back.
Pretty much.
Okay, wow, that was pretty crazy. I did not know that they okay, my audio cut out at that point. But what I was gonna say, I had no idea that they blew up where he was. I had no idea about that. In the end of this video, which is near now, I'm going to leave a tribute for all of the rescuers in the efforts to save John. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace out.